When Princess died, if my mama died, whoever go first, they going together. And it's said in front of open people, I have no problem. We're going to stuff Princess, and we're going to put her in the casket with my mama, because ain't nobody going to do all that foolishness. So then we were like, oh, we know in heaven you couldn't rest. The royal priesthood couldn't rest without seeing her heavenly maker, so we wanted you all to see them together.
In my will is a clause for the FBI to investigate any mysterious deaths.
You know, they say it's like a death of a child. They say that's how bad it is. I think you could clone him. I think it's $100,000. And I thought maybe in another 10 years the price may even come down. So, but there are those kind of options, but we'll see.
When Princess passed away, it was extremely devastating. And I just had this sense that it's not over. I know she's gone, but somehow, some way, I'm going to be with her again. I think that when people and animals die, their spirits live on. We have souls, and they have souls too.
When I walked in to this apartment, I immediately felt a great, I mean, something important wasn't here. Diomedes passed away this morning. She's telling me, Mother, don't be as sad. Don't be unhappy. Diomedes is with us, and he will always be with us.
My name is Wanda Curtis. I had a dog named Butler. He meant the world to me. He was just like my child. His love was unconditional. He was faithful and he was loyal, and he was just my best friend. I noticed he had these 2 lumps under his chin. I phoned the vet and she said, well, it's probably his lymph nodes are swollen because of the infection he had on the side of his face. She stood him up and checked his lymph nodes and said, oh dear. And then she checked his back legs, his armpits, his stomach, and she just kept saying, oh dear. She just was pitch white. She dreaded to tell me that Butler had lymphomia cancer and he had 1 to 2 weeks to live when cancer was already ruled out twice. That was hard. I thought his heart was going to be the one to get him, not cancer. So we went to the vets on the next day, made an appointment. I didn't want him to suffer. Now I'm just wondering if that was the right move. Should I have tried holistics? I just don't know if I fought hard enough now.
Sometimes it's just a feeling that you just feel like they're near you and you feel comforted by it. Or again, it might come in a form of a dream.
I've not had any connection with Butler since he's passed. I've not had a dream. I've had a nightmare once, but I think that was just my guilt. Liked his ice creams. Liked going for a ride in the truck, the big truck. If I could talk to him right now, I would tell him I love him. I miss him. I'm sorry. I hope he forgives me. Some of the people said, oh, you should, try reincarnation. Do you believe in it? Well, I didn't know what I believe in. I don't have any really beliefs. I'm looking for a belief. I'm looking for answers. I'm looking for a mommy, I'm okay sign.
I believe in reincarnation of people, but I guess I just never really thought about it very much with animals. And so I went online and I just did a Google search about animal reincarnation, and Brent Atwater's name came up.
I had a fiance that was killed, and I couldn't get a grip on life. Death had taken me over because he left suddenly and I was unable to talk to him. At that point in time, I decided that I was going to find him. Didn't know how, but I was going to find him. And that led me on my quest for reincarnation. As I was studying reincarnation, I found out more and more that my animals kept acting the same. They would pass away and come back and still be the same. And then the day came when Friend, the dog with a B on his bottom, was born. And at that point in time, I realized animal reincarnation was real, and I had to take Mike's death and turn it into helping others.
I downloaded the book on my iPad and I read it, and I was extremely impressed by it. And it began to give me hope that maybe that's why I'm feeling this sense that it's not over. Maybe she is coming back to me.
I'm a skeptic. I'm not sure if I know what Brent does is possible. She would have to tell me something personal about my dog in order for me to be a believer. Only something that me and close family members would know.
Please give me 3 signs within the next 3 days that I can easily understand that will allow me to know in my heart whether or not my beloved pet is coming back to me in this lifetime. Thank you. You are to use these words, and I've done this many times during the week, and it's not working for me. I'm not getting my signs.
One of the things that I tell skeptics is this: take water and boil it. What do you get? Steam. Take steam and freeze it. What do you get? Ice. Take ice and melt it. What do you get? Water. So energy never changes the properties of the physics of the energy. It just changes the physical properties. And those physical properties are what manifest into another body. So think about that. If you really don't believe your pet will never come back, why is water able to come back time and time and time again? Because when it's in steam form, you don't see it. Or what about that little butterfly that goes all inside that tiny little cocoon and you think, poor baby, he's dead. But then he comes out and flies. And that's the reason the butterfly is a symbol of reincarnation.
The next day I picked up the phone and contacted Brent and scheduled an appointment for her to do a session with Princess.
When Diane came to me 2.5 years ago, she was skeptical about reincarnation, although her heart wanted Princess to come back.
She did a session with Princess, and when she got back to me with the information, I finally felt like this woman connected. She is the real deal, because she knew things that no one really could have known.
Sing! I see the energy, and I see the dog sitting in front of me, and I talk to the energy. It's sort of like what you see is what you get.
Is that a pretty dog? Is that a pretty dog?
I see the pet, after it crosses the death line, turn into sparkler form. I ask it, are you going to reincarnate? And if it does, it reformulates into a visible form in front of me and lets me know exactly what it's going to look like, where it can be found, what color, and all the characteristics that make it special for their owner.
As soon as she looked at the picture of Princess, she said, oh, this dog is like barely dead. She's so alive, and she is definitely coming back to you. And then she gave me a complete description of what Princess would look like in her next incarnation.
And that's the actual most fun of it all, when I sit there and go, oh look, he's got a cute little paw. Woo, he's going to be long-haired. And the animal shows me all sorts of fun things, and you can see that the owner is excited. And I feel that what I provide most of all is I inspire hope and bring joy back into hearts that were laden with suffering and grief.
I'd like to know if Butler made it to the other side, who was there to greet him, if he's going to come back in reincarnation, when, will he be mine?
Lo and behold, this little puppy has the exact streak down her nose that Princess had, so it's really quite uncanny.
Wanda came into the reading as a skeptic, and she can choose to stay a skeptic or she can choose to expand her mind and embrace new ideas. But the important part is when Wanda finishes with our reading, all of the questions in her heart will be addressed.
Hello.
Good morning. Are you ready to talk about Butler and reincarnation?
I am.
Okay. Before we tap into Mr. Butler, who is quite the character over here, he likes to push up against you too. He did, didn't he? Yeah. He liked to butt you with a shoulder and lay his head on your knee, didn't he? Yeah. Yeah.
What I'm looking for to find out from Butler is forgiveness, his his safety? Like, has he made it there safe?
He's there. He's safe. He's sparkler for him.
I just want to know he's made it on the other side and that he's forgiven me and that he can still hear me and see me. And
Okay, well, let me say one thing. The fact that he's sitting over here pushing up against me is he's there on the other side, so there's no problem with that. Butler is alive and well. When you have a soul contract with a pet, you contract when to come together, when to leave. Here's the way I like to say it. If you're in heaven, you're sitting up there on the clouds and you're a little angel, you and Butler up there, two little energy angels, and you're going, oh, Butler, what time do you want to go down to earth? Butler says, well, I think I'll go down about midlife with Wanda. What do you think? Wanda goes, oh, that'd be cool. Butler says, well, I think I'm going to leave about midlife too. Is that all right? Wanda says, yeah, that'll be cool. If they choose not to come back, you have made that soul's contract. But they might not have chosen to come back in this incarnation, which means this present life of yours, but they may meet you in a future life. That's my job. My job and Butler's job is to take your heart and to hug it and to let your soul be at peace.
for that, I thank you.
Well, Mike had to die, so I do this. So it's like, I have to do it because that's the way my soul is at peace, is to give back.
I think it's hard to let go of my connection with Butler because maybe I'm not ready to let go. I don't want to let go. I'm afraid to let go. I don't want him to think I forgot about him. It's just hard.
Without Brent's guidance, without her telling me that Princess was ready to come back, I wouldn't have been prepared. I wouldn't have been aware. I needed that, and it has just been the greatest blessing in my life. To have my dog back is it's just an incredible gift.
Will Elvis come back as another dog? No, I tend to think about, I still think like that stranger said to me, you'll never find another one. He's one in a million. So, will I be happy again? Will I have another dog? And will I love my other dog? Absolutely. But this one's one in a million.
Those we have truly loved in our lifetime, whether they be two-footed or four-footed, we will be reunited with them when we too go to paradise.